Central family. Welcome to another episode of NBA Central with your host, Big Bro, Big Kev, along with Steve O Speaks. We are going to be previewing all of tonight's NBA action, especially the game between the Lakers and the Clippers. We're going to get right into that right after the intro.
Let's do it.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day.
Day for sure. Middle of the week. We almost done.
Yes, sir. We are smack dab in the middle of the last and final week of the 2022-2023 NBA season. And man, things are just keep on getting just crazier. Now in the Eastern Conference, everybody's locked in, not to their positioning, but all the playoff situations are over with. Nobody can creep back to play in, but some people can creep out of the play in a little bit, and then there's a little bit more jockeying for positioning. And then the West Coast is still a mess. The Dallas Mavericks still have an opportunity to make it to the playoffs, and so on and so forth. But first, we are going to discuss the game of the night. Steve-O, we got the battle for Los Angeles. The Clippers versus the Lakers. They both have the same exact record. One team is sitting in sixth place, one team is sitting in seventh place. That means that one team is in the playoffs and out of the play-in, and the other one is not. Whoever wins tonight basically is solidifying their spot in the actual playoffs and out of the play-in.
That's for sure. It's definitely a tough game for both. It's a very important game for both. They both been playing. Oh well, mainly the Lakers been playing solid basketball. They had a nail biter last night, but they pulled it out. And I hope the Clippers ready because Lakers ain't playing. They know this the magnitude of the situation. They know what everybody else's situation is, so they already know. The fact it's kind of crazy to say that they're neck and neck because they wasn't always neck and neck. So the fact they got the same record now is crazy. So it shall be an interesting game, and I'm gonna go ahead and say can't go away from Brian. So I'm picking Brian. Brian going for it.
Oh yeah, playoff mode has been activated for the Lakers for the last month or so. They've been going in, winning games. They crawled all the way from like 14th in the Western Conference, all the way up to seventh, and basically have an opportunity to get that sixth spot, which will have them if the playoffs started today, playing against the Sacramento Kings. And unfortunately for the Kings, they don't want to see the Lakers. The Lakers have
Mhm.
a plethora, a bevy of a playoff experience from the coaching staff all the way down the roster. And Sacramento is a young upstart team, even though they are well coached. And it's not saying that they can't beat the Lakers. It's just that that playoff pressure could really mean something. So hopefully tonight's a good game. It's basically a home game for both squads. But I'm right there with you, Steve-O. I'm gonna go with the Lakers to defeat the LA Clippers tonight in LA, but it should be a knockdown, drag 'em out brawl. I hope we see same type of fireworks we saw last night when the Lakers were playing Utah.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
All right, so we're gonna start at the top. Brooklyn Nets versus Pistons. Who you got?
I don't know after last night, bro. Hey, because last night we came in, it was like, hey, the Heat, it's gonna be an easy game now. No, granted, they did win the convention faster towards the end, but it was a game up until I believe the third or fourth quarter. So,
Yeah, it
but
was.
I'm gonna still go out and go say Brooklyn. Brooklyn wants to drop any more than they have to. They know they're six in the standings right now, and they want to stay six. So they're gonna come out try to win, and that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I got Brooklyn winning that one as well. What we think about the Knicks versus the Pacers. The Knicks are really just, trying to make sure they keep the fifth spot. The Pacers are trying to basically, end the season on a high note. They're out of the play-in situation. So who we got between the Knicks and the Pacers?
Um, I'm gonna go in with Knicks just because they just been on a roll as of recent. They know, as like I said, everybody know the magnitude of the moment, so they gonna come in putting playing their best ball, and that's what they've been doing. But I feel like just a little different compared to the Detroit game and Brooklyn game because I feel like Indiana can play spoiler a little bit more than Detroit can. So it's definitely a game we should watch. It's a game we should pay attention to because anything can happen. But if I had to choose, which I am, is going to be New York.
I'm going with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is balling out right now. I'm going with my guy, Jalen Brunson. Now, the Wizards and the Hawks, man, the Hawks came in without Trae Young, without DeAndre Hunter last night into the Chicago Bulls Stadium and defeated them on the road. And now they're back at home tonight versus the Washington Wizards. Not sure if Trae Young is going to be playing or not, but the Wizards definitely would like to play spoiler for the Atlanta Hawks as well. So who you got with this one?
I feel like it got to be Atlanta. You just beat a team by 20 without your star player. You got to take that on the road. You got to take that back home. You got to take that momentum and use it. You got to come in and win it. Y'all came in and not playing, and we, as you can see, we wasn't ready for it. And we already know Wizards ain't no, is a team that they should beat. It should be no problem to beat. It can be a tough game, but based on last night, and especially if Trey decides he's going to play, I got to let him go.
Yeah, I'm going with the Atlanta Hawks to win this one as well. They definitely should take the momentum from last night into tonight's game. And if they lose, if Trae Young plays and they lose, then it's an indication on the type of player that he is.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at a certain situation where last night we had one of the people in our chat doing a live call saying
Mm-hmm.
that Trae Young is a volume shooter and so on and so forth. And I have a feeling that
Decision is low.
yeah, and I have a feeling that last night, had he played versus the Bulls, it probably would have been a different outcome. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go ahead.
possibly.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the Hawks. Hopefully, they can keep their momentum going. If not, hey, good for them. Good for the Bulls.
Oh, bro. Yeah,
Now,
good for them.
the next one, we got the Raptors versus the Celtics. The Celtics are at home, sitting at 54 and 25. They still have an outside shot at taking the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and the Raptors are trying to solidify their positioning in the play-in tournament. Maybe move up to the 8th spot to avoid having to just play one game. They want to play two games at least to have two-game opportunity to win, make it into the playoffs. And this is also possibly a first round matchup preview between
Mhm.
Toronto and Boston. So who you got for this game tonight? A lot of stuff on the line.
I got Boston just because the way they lost last night. I know that Tatum not feeling right about it. I know the whole team is pretty upset about it. They was just this close from beating their team. They just let Joe score 50 on them. They not gonna come, and they back at the crib, so they not gonna lose to no to them tonight. They're going there and they're gonna beat them in convincing fashion, I believe, and they just gonna get them out the way real quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Boston get this win as well to put a little bit of pressure on Milwaukee, but I think that was a wrap. Mathematically, it might even be over. I think it's only 3 games left, and
Yeah,
Milwaukee has a 3-game winning streak. Hold on, I think my son's
about to be
phone is going on.
about to be four.
Yeah. So it's I think Boston's gonna rebound tonight. But hold on one second. Let me go turn this
I
alarm off.
got
Give
you.
me a second.
But yeah, like I said, Boston, not Boston, but they got a 3 game winning streak. They just came off beating the 76ers, Wizards, and actually, it's not a 3 game winning streak. It's a 2 game winning streak, but still, it's gonna become a 3 game winning streak because they play us tonight. So you want to go into that game since it's next?
Oh man. Yeah, the Bulls, man, the Bulls. It's been this type of season for the Bulls, to be honest. We've watched every minute of every game this year, and we've seen how inconsistent they can be. And unfortunately, they're allergic to two things. They're allergic to longer than 3 game winning streaks, and they're allergic to 500. It's crazy to think that they still had an opportunity. They still have the opportunity to finish at 500, but I just don't see it happening. I think it would be poetic justice for them to finish under 500 just based on how they played this season. I got the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Bulls tonight, but just based on how the Bulls season been going and how they played last night, they'll go
Yeah,
into
win.
Milwaukee and win the game.
Right, on some stupid stuff. Like I ain't come here to get upset, so I'm just gonna go up and say Milwaukee gonna beat us because if we win, I'm gonna have attitude. I'm gonna have a real attitude. So I don't even want to win because it's just gonna make us look bad in the end. So
That's
realistically
fair.
speaking, I just say Milwaukee gonna come out with that win.
Now we got another important game tonight in the Western Conference.
Indeed, like,
Uh,
bro.
the
That should
Grizzlies
be on
and the Pelicans.
ESPN,
It really should be.
not us. Shit.
Well, they can't do it because they got the Lakers Clippers coming on later on
Okay,
ESPN. It's
that's
a double day.
understandable.
But it's gonna be a good game, man. The Grizzlies off a bad loss to Chicago after blowing a 23-point lead to fall down to lose by 21. They're looking. They already got their 50 wins, but they're looking to kind of play spoiler for the Pelicans because the Pelicans are trying their best to avoid the play in as well and get into the playoff scenario. But it's gonna be tough. It's definitely
Hmm.
going to be tough because whoever wins that Lakers Clippers game is basically just swapping spots, and then New Orleans can move up a spot by having the same record as those guys. And they lost a tough one last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, they won. They
Oh,
beat they beat the bricks off the Trailblazers 119 to 107.
okay, so they trying to carry that momentum into the
Yeah,
no
and
the
it's
Pelicans. I'm talking about the Pelicans lost
oh the
last night.
Pelicans. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Pelicans
Yeah, I believe
lost.
they did lose. Yeah, they
Now the
did lose to the
Pelicans
Kings.
and they needed to win that game because they would be sitting at 41 to 38, just like the Lakers and Clippers, with the opportunity to go up to 42 and 38 to be right there in the 5, 6, 7 situation. But that's neither here nor there. They're playing against a Memphis Grizzlies team that still has an outside chance at taking the number one seed in the Western Conference if they win their last 3 games. So we're gonna see how that goes tonight, man. But I'm going with the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans want to keep the pressure on that 5, 6, 7 situation, and I can see the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies won last night, but I can see them losing again. So let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going with the Pelicans as well, just because I'm looking at the schedule. They can't afford to lose. They going against Grizzlies, Knicks, and Timberwolves.
Hmm.
All teams that still mean something, especially that Timberwolves spot. The Timberwolves is their last game. You got to win that game. So I feel like you got to win these next 3 games. It's mandatory.
All
So
right.
yeah, I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I'm gonna go with New Orleans.
We both got the Pelicans winning that one, and that's a good game, the most important game of the season for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, that's been the case for the last 2 weeks. But hey, it's to the nitty and the gritty right now. They've already secured a less than 500 record, but they gotta thank the basketball guys that their play-in hopes are still alive. They play the Sacramento Kings tonight. Mavericks are at home, and if they have any type of moxie, any type of huevos, these guys better come out and play.
Ravens.
And look, the Kings are on a back to back, even though they won last night. Mavericks got to win this game, man. Like we've been saying this for the last 2 weeks, and they haven't been doing it. But these guys have to win tonight, otherwise, it's just curtains for these dudes.
And these boys about to get spanked. They about to get spanked real quick. It's over with. Just go ahead and take that L. Sack ain't finna play with you. Y'all about to get out coached because Luca gonna make y'all get out coached. And y'all gonna lose. That's just what it's gonna be.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and give throw a bone to Dallas and say they're gonna get a win and keep the pressure on the Oklahoma City Thunder. But hey, they most likely gonna lose. I'm right there with you. But I'm gonna say
Bro.
they're gonna win. I'm gonna say they're gonna win tonight at home. And then
Sure.
we already discussed the Lakers and the Clippers. That's the game of the night tonight. And there you guys have it. That's all the games for a busy NBA night on Hump
Hmm.
Day. We appreciate you guys if you comment who you like to win these games. Make sure you comment, like, and share. We appreciate you guys for following us across the whole Chicago Sports Central family. And
For
we're gonna
sure.
we're gonna see y'all tonight on a live call with between the Bulls versus the Bucks in Milwaukee over with the Cognac Gang on the Shy Bulls podcast.
Peace,
Peace.
y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by